Okay, interview with Harlen Wheatley of Buffalo Trace in 3, 2. Hey guys, it's great pleasure to be able to talk to the master distiller of Buffalo Trace. You all know him. His name is Harlen Wheatley. And I want to do some rapid fire questions with him about the industry, about Buffalo Trace, about the future, just to give you a little bit of perspective. Tonight we are at a Total Wine in downtown Dallas. We had a sellout crowd, and they asked some really good questions. Yep. And it makes me interested in trying to spread the word not only about bourbon, but about the Buffalo Trace brand. And first off, Mr. Wheatley, thank you. Can I call you Mr. Wheatley or Harlen? What do you
Either
prefer?
Either one, that's fine.
All right, I go by first name, so let's go with Harlen.
Let's do it.
So as we do this interview, it's the week of President Trump doing his State of the Union. Yeah. So first, let's start out with the state of the bourbon industry. I would imagine stronger than ever before.
Yeah, I think we've seen all-time growth, and we continue to see strong growth. Both in the U.S. and globally, and the market is continuing to grow across the globe. So that's what the name of the game for us is, to continue to expand to meet that demand.
So as you talk to the crowd tonight, you were talking about how strong Buffalo Trace's brands are, and the fact that it's expansion. Talk about that.
Yeah, all across, we've got a lot of different brands, and bourbons and whiskeys, and all of our brands are growing well. Strong growth, and in order for us to meet that demand, we have to invest in our distillery. We're investing over $1 billion over the next 9 years to try to meet that demand, throughout the globe, really.
And you had said in 2019, as far as tours go at Buffalo Trace, there was about 300,000. Now the goal is 500,000 in 2020?
No, not in 2020. We just see that growing, double-digit growth also. But last year we did almost 300,000 visitors over the last 12 months, and we continue to see strong growth. We're expanding our gift shop, trying to show people the distillery, and we have multiple tours. They're all free, 7 days a week. We're open every day, so we want people to come see us.
Okay. Now, here is a concern of mine, how the Bourbon Trail is turning into the new Napa Valley. Now, I remember going to Napa Valley in the 80s, and it was fantastic. It's like the bourbon industry now, where you felt like you're being welcomed into a family's home. Yeah. The things I'm reading concerns me. It sounds like it could become more corporate with high-rise hotels and resorts and things like that. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, for us, the Bourbon Trail has been a really good thing for Kentucky. We're actually not members of the Bourbon Trail. We're along the trail. I mean, you can come see the distillery, of course. But the Bourbon Trail has been good for the, state of Kentucky, and it's allowing us to get the word out to, people that visit Kentucky and learn about bourbon. And, it's all about educating the consumers and connecting these consumers with our brands for us. So that's an important part of it.
All right. One of the things you touched on tonight was the fact that you're expanding the amount of distribution across the world, and I was surprised to learn that you're aging barrels in other countries. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, we've invested also globally. I mean, we bought a place, a distillery in Cognac, France, for example, and we're in the middle of making some really good cognac, and we're aging barrels there. Of course, everywhere you look, we have to expand. So just like here, we have to build warehouses there, and also in India, we've invested some in a distillery in Goa, India, and there, Paul John Distillery, where we're making some really good Indian whiskey, and we're continuing to expand. We've got to build warehouses there. So we've got whiskey really all over the globe, and we're looking at possibilities for the future.
I was fascinated by the experimental things you're doing, not only in Kentucky but across the country, with char levels and different kinds of wood. I know you came out with Mongolian, French, and Canadian last year. Those kind of experiments going to continue, and they're going to bottle them and sell them?
Absolutely, we're going to continue. We released we not released, but started a new brand called Charter Oak, and a lot of these experiments that we have in the warehouse are related to anything related to wood. And we have now a channel to release those out to the public through that Charter Oak brand.
Okay. Getting back to the demand, and every liquor chain seems to have a different way of trying to sell the allocated. Like I said, tonight it's February 2020. We're in a Total Wine in Dallas. I kind of like the way they do things. You know, I know there's some are lottery, some are based on rewards points. Do you guys, as a distillery, recommend to the bigger chains how they should sell your product?
No, the only thing we do care about, really, I mean, it's up to them how they're going to how they want to sell it. But the only thing we do care about is the pricing. You know, we want our bourbons to sell at a fair price. We don't want our consumers to be gouged, you know, super high prices. So we do watch that and, you know, monitor that, and hopefully, you know, as consumers become more aware of what pricing should be, and they know when they're being gouged, they can watch out for that kind of thing, because it is out there. You just have to watch it.
Well, then we have to then carry over to the bourbon secondary market, and you're making a big effort. I'm guessing all the different distilleries are making a big effort to shut that down.
Yeah, it's just not good for us. It's not flatter. It's not what we want our bourbons to sell for, and it's not something that we like. So.
And final question, I'll let you go. Talk about 2020. What exciting things can us bourbon fans look for in Buffalo Trace products?
Well, the one thing for us is we're never resting on our laurels. We've always got more bourbons coming, new brands, new developments on our experimental program, new extensions of our current labels, and then you can always be confident in the consistency of our current brands too. So, got more coming.
All right, more coming. That's great news, guys. Harlen Wheatley, Master Distiller, Buffalo Trace.